ותתחפר והייתה לך שפחת עולם. יאללה לילה לילה יאללה לילה לילה יאללה לילה לילה יאללה לילה לילה yalla la la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la yalla la la yalla la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la yalla la la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la la Ancient One, let your compassion flow. Have pity on the child whom you love. For I have yearned for so long to see your luminescent power. My God, my beloved, hurry, please. Do not hide. Please, my beloved, reveal yourself. Spread the sukkah of your love over me. May the whole world be illuminated with your glory. Then shall we be glad and rejoice with you. My lover, come quickly, for the time is come. Have compassion for me in the days of old. And I'm just going to briefly interrupt the service to show everyone with the screen. This is the source of all that noise. She is impatient for her dinner, so I'm going to take a 2-second break and dump out their food so that she will stop barking at me.
Just like a kid.
And she hates it that I feed my other dog first.
You still have both of them?
Yeah. She's always worried that somehow I'm going to forget her and that she will not get fed. I don't know why, because I never do forget, but she's convinced that only her boyfriend will get the food.
Typical.
Page 11. Turn to page 11 for Lechu Naranana. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Trumpet our praise to the Protector. We are filled with thanks and we greet God, raising our voices in song. Lechu Naranana. L'Adonai. Nachia litzo yishenu Nikadama fana Betoda Bizmirot Nachia lo Gilgaludamai Melchadoi. הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו אמריתו וצאן ידו היום אם בקולו תשמעו לא תחשו. And so we come together at the little, there's a little triangle, a red triangle, we come together there. Arbehim Shana Akut Bedor Va'omam To'elevavhem V'hem lo yebehu derachai Asher nishpati v'yapi Im yivun el menuchati. Shiru Adonai. All right, so I learned this song. I learned this one on the guitar, so we're gonna try to do it on the guitar. Let's see how we do. Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basaru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato, Shaparu Bagoim, Kevodo Bechol Ha'amim Nifleotav, Saparu Bagoim, Kevodo Bechol Ha'amim Nifleotav, Igadol Adonai, Umulam Me'or, Urahu, Al Kol Elohim, Ya'elai, 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 Okay. The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice. The sea in its fullness will roar. The meadows and all that grows in them will exult, and even the trees of the forest shall sing praise. As Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and peoples divine truth. So we'll turn now to page 17. Actually, let's see, to page 16. For Ohavei Adonai, those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, all righteous people, and give thanks and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. Ohavei Adonai Sinura, Shomer Nafshot Chasidav Miyad Rishayim Yatzilem, Or Zavru Ala Tzadik, Urish Lelev Simcha, Simechu Tzadikim Baronai, Odu Lezecher Kodsho, Mizmor. Page 17. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Ki Niflaot Asa, Oshia Lo Yemino, Uzroa Kodsho Dia, Adonai Yeshuato, Enei Agoim Gilad Tzidkato, Zachar Chasto Ve'emunato, Levet Yisrael, La 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 la. la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la. All right. So, oh, I'm sorry, my head is, you only see the top of my head. That's no good. Uh-oh, what happened there? Uh-oh. I'm not sure what happened. Excuse me, everybody. It seemed, oh, all right, there we go. Seemed to have suddenly had a weird technical glitch there, but I think we're okay. All right, so we will turn now to page 23 for Lecha Dodi. Please feel free to sing along. It's a fun version of it. And this is the one that they sing at the Reform Synagogue in Jerusalem. Shamu v'zacho v'diborecha Hishlianu el ha-meuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad U'shemo tiferet v'litila Lecha Dodi likat kala Halalai, halalai, halalai B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Ha 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 Lecha Dodi likat kala Halalai Halalai, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Likat Shabbat, Nehu V'nelcha, Ki Mekor HaBeracha, Merosh Mikerem, Nesucha, Sof Maaseh, B'machshavah Techila. Dodi, likat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabela, ha, likat dodi, likat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. So on page 24 now, we're going to do the middle verse on page 24. Hitoreri, Kiva ore, uri, Shir Deberi, Kavod Adonai, Alai Igla, Lecha Dodi, Likat Kalai, Yalalai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, Ha ha ha, Lecha Dodi, Likat Kalai, Yalalai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. And I invite you to rise as you are able as we turn to the final verse of Lecha Dodi on page 25. We welcome in the Shabbat bride. In my house, my back door is always open when I'm home, so the Shabbat bride can make it in any time she chooses. Boi v'shalom atel ba'allah gam b'simcha u'tzola toch emunei am segula Boi chala, boi chala Lecha Dodi, Likat Kalai, Yalalai, Yalalai, Yalalai B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela Dodi Katalai Yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat B'nei Kabbalat Dodi Katalai Yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat B'nei Kabbalat Dodi Katalai Yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat B'nei Kabbalat. All right. Woo! So everyone can take a seat if you were standing, and if you were already sitting, then you can just release all the air, because the next breath in will be the extra little bit of soul that we receive every Shabbat. Every time we enter Shabbat, we get a little bit of an extra boost from on high, if that's how we think about it, or just from the depths of our souls, become a little bit deeper, a little bit bigger. But that's a beautiful thing about Shabbat. So we'll turn now to page 27 for Psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat tov lahodot l'Adonai l'zamer l'shimcha elyon lahagid baboker chasdecha v'emunatecha b'leilot. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak and your faithfulness each night. How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how subtle your designs. We'll turn to page 28, and we'll come together in song for Tzaddik Katamar at the little triangle. Tzaddik Katamar yifrach ke'eretz balvanon yisgeh shetolim beveit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenun b'seva d'shenim ra'ananim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai suri v'lo avlatabo. Page 29, Adonai malav gev laveh laveh Adonai oti dazan avti kon tevel b'timot nachon kisecha meyaz me'olam ata. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. Mikolot ma'im rabim, adirim mishperiyam, adir b'maram Adonai, edotecha ne'emnu me'od, levedcha na'ava kodesh, Adonai, le'orech yamim. All right, so at this point, I'm going to invite anyone who has anyone who is commemorating a yard site and is saying Kaddish today to please unmute yourself. If you're on a phone, press *6. If you are on a screen, you can find the unmute button. If you unmute yourself, I will call your name and let you know that it's your time to mention someone. If you remain muted, I will just not call on you, and that's fine. And of course, if you're saying Kaddish but you don't feel like, if you're not up for mentioning the name of that person, feel free just to hold that in your heart. So Carol, please.
Joan Lichterman.
Thank you. And of course, on this day, this day of September 11th, we remember all those who perished in the events of that day. And for me, in particular, was a dorm mate of mine lived on my floor in college at Rimley, who became a very successful and increasingly prominent and important physician in Boston, and he was on one of the flights from Boston that ran into the tower. And so every year I'm reminded of him and the promise uh, that was lost when he was killed in that terrible, terrible event. So we come together on page 30 for the uh, mourner's Kaddish. Feel free, as always, to unmute yourself as Carol and I say Kaddish, and you can respond with the Amens and the Yehei Shmeis and so on and so forth if you are so moved. Yitgadal,
Yikadosh, Shmei Rabbah, Yoma Dibra,
Chirute, Yamlich,
Makate, B'chai Yom,
Yapon,
Mechon,
Bechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala,
Uvizman Karib, V'yamru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei,
Shmei
Rabbah Mavarach, V'yalam Yomei Amalia,
Yibarach,
V'yishtabach, V'ar V'yit Ramam V'yit Naseh, V'yit Hadar V'yit Halel V'yit Halal, Shmei Kucha, V'yichu, Ela Mikha, Shirataka Tushbachata V'nechamata Damiran V'yama V'yamru Amen.
Yehei,
Shalom, Rabba Min Shemaya Chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yamru Amen.
Shalom.
Shalom B'Murma Hu Yaseh Shalom
Amen.
Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yamru Amen.
Ose Shalom. Uyase Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. All right, so we will turn now to, let's see here. We'll turn now to page 39, 39a. As we come together for the Baruch Hu, as we transition from Kabbalat Shabbat, we have received Shabbat, we have welcomed Shabbat, and now we will turn to the evening service. So please feel free to rise as you are able as we chant the Baruch Hu, and also again feel free to unmute yourself so you can respond to the Baruch Hu if you are so moved. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach.
Adonai, Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Borach Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings on the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the days to vision, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Living and ever-present God, may your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. Uma'ariv yom umehivi laila, ma'avdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. Page 39, page 40. Avat Olam Beit Yisrael Amechata Torah u'mitzvot Ukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu V'shofbenu kumenu Nasiach bechuchecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'mitzvotecha Le'olam ha'ed Ki hem chayenu V'orech yameinu Uvehem negeh Yomam b'layla Yem chayenu v'yorech yameinu Uvehem negeh yomam b'layla V'yavatecha Al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael. So we come together for the Shema on page 41. Some of us will say just the Shema and then say the Baruch Shem quietly. Others of us say the Baruch Shem out loud. If you'd like to unmute yourself to join me in the Shema, please feel free to do so. And we will continue after that with the Ve'ahavta and the rest of it. Shema Yisrael Echad Et Adonai Bechol levavecha U'kol me'odecha V'hayu ha'devarim ha'elu Asher nochi b'tzarecha Hayom al levavecha V'shinanta ha'am levanecha v'dibarta V'shivtecha b'beitzecha U'lechtecha ha'baderech U'shlochdecha u'kumecha U'kshatam le'ot al yadecha V'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha U'chtatam Al mezuzot beitecha U'visharecha. We'll continue on page 42 on our own. Adonai Elohechem Emet V'yemen HaKol Zod V'kayim Aleinu Ki Hu Adonai Eloheinu V'ein Zolado V'yenachtu Yisrael Amo. This is our enduring affirmation binding on us that Adonai is our God and there is none other, and we Israel are God's people. We'll come up together Now on page 44. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה מרים ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך ואלים מי כמוך נדע בקודש תהילו עושה מלכותך ראו בניך כה קיים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלומי את חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Israel. We'll continue on page 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us in removing from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Take away the coronavirus and remove white supremacy and hatred from the hearts of all around us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai. Haporei sukat shalom aleinu. Yal kol amo Yisrael. Bihar Yerushalayim. So we'll turn to page 46. Invite you to rise as you are able for Vishamru. The people Israel shall observe Shabbat, maintaining it as an everlasting covenant throughout all generations. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לתוך תמברית עולה ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים את הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. So I invite you to remain standing if you are for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 46, after which we will go directly into the Amidah. Our practice is to sing together the first three brachot, the first three blessings of the Amidah, and after which we finish it silently, each on our own, at our own pace. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba v'yalamad yivrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayerecho beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, v'himeru amen. Yesh me rabba mevarach, la'alam u'al me'almaya yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitada, V'yitale v'yitala shemere gudesha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirchata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alama v'himeru amen. Nice with the guitar. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Agadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Koneh HaKol V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot U'mevi go'el livnei v'neihem Lema'an shemo b'ahava Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham u'fokei tzara Atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayei hametim Rab lehoshia Morid hatal Mechalkel Chaim bechesed Mechaye metim berachamim rabim Somech noflim verofe cholim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Mi chamocha ba'al givrot Umido melach Melech mimit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lehachayot metim Baruch ata Adonai mechayeh hametim ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha sela Baruch ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue from page 49 over the next few pages. It's a mess here. Okay. All right, so we'll turn now back to page 51 for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Melech Adon B'chol HaShalom. Ki Ata Melech Adon B'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amecha Yisrael v'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. All right, so we'll turn to the Mishaberach, which unfortunately is not available on the piece of on the text I have here. So if you have a book in front of you, it's on page 173, and I'll just have to ask everyone else to indulge. But please unmute yourself if you would like to mention someone from Mishaberach. Go ahead and unmute, and I will call on you to share the names of those people. Okay, so I'm going to start with the layout in my Zoom room. It might not be the same as yours, so I apologize. So we'll start with
What page is it? What page is it, please?
173.
173, and it's
Thank you.
173.
Yes, on the upper left-hand corner.
all right. Ann, go ahead and say.
I would like to mention all of my friends and neighbors in Portland and other places in Oregon, some of whom have had to evacuate their homes and are breathing this god-awful air
Yes.
after the ash and fire.
Yes,
Just
the whole West Coast did this, and it's so distressing on top of everything else that's going on in our world.
horrible.
Thank you.
And the beautiful trees that have been burned.
Ellen.
Yes, I want to think about Pat Pincus, my youngest stepsister, who on Monday will have surgery for cancer.
Oh. Sandy.
Ellen Zuniga, my daughter. Elaine Skolnick, my dear friend. David Engel. And Yair Alvin.
Thank you. Carol.
Betty Gatto and Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Thank you. Judy.
Coco, Leomi Razel, Nedley Goldman, Faye Kravitz, Miss Mestius, Rabbi Santa Sheila Klein.
Thank you, Judy. Louise?
Yes, I have a long list. Liz Zellick, Michael Snyder, Howard Snyder, Avi Kahalis, Susan Toth, Wendy Levy, Doug Levy, Rosa Rattado, Esther Leff, Lorraine Haynes, and Natasha Lieber.
Thank you. I will mention Rachel and my cousin Tamar got Miriam. All right, so the Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekora Beracha May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Right, well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So wonderful to have this group together for our Shabbat. If you want to grab something to make Kiddush over, if you have anything in your apartment to make Kiddush over, then that's great. You're allowed to make Kiddush over just about anything, but you don't say B'rei Pri Agafen if you've got something else. You say Shehakol Nihyeh B'Ro, which is what I'm going to say because I'm drinking kombucha.
Oh, great.
All right, so Ann, the Kiddush is found on page 55 on the screen, but if you don't have a screen, it's on page 55 in your books. Go ahead, Ann, why don't we say it together?
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen.
Kol Nihyeh B'Ro.
Baruch atah Adonai
Elohim.
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kodesho ve'ahava u'ratzon intiranu Ikaron Lamase Bareshi Uyom Tequila Lamikra Kodesh Zeheritziah Mitzrayim Ivanu Vachata Anu Tidashta Mikol Hamim Shabbat Kodeshecha Yahava Uvratzah Impaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Ekadosh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Shalom to everybody. All right, so I invite you to rise as you are able. In your soul or onto your feet for the Aleinu on page 56.
Aleinu Shabbat Le'adon Hak
La Te Gudula Leotzeh Bereshit שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, כי אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל. שכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אינו, אמת מלכנו ופסולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום וישיבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינו. Page 57, Al ken nechavel lecha Adonai Eloheinu lirot neherab tipieret uzecha. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yihye Adonai echad u'shmo echad. All right, so we will close tonight with Psalm 27, which is found on page 59. It's the psalm that we sing, that we recite every day during the period of Elul, before the high holidays. It's really a beautiful psalm, and we'll focus tonight on the three verses that are bolded in the middle of the psalm. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai otah avakesh. One thing I ask of Adonai, this is what I seek, to dwell in the house of God all the days of my life, to behold God's peacefulness and to pray in God's sanctuary. Feel free to join me. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai Tavakesh, Achat she'alti me'et Adonai Tavakesh, Shivti bebet Adonai kol yemei chayai, Lachazot b'noam Adonai u'vacher b'echalo, Lachazot b'noam Adonai u'vacher b'echalo. Yai lai lai yai lai lai yai lai lai yai lai lai. Lai 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 lai, yai lai lai yai lai lai yai lai lai yai lai lai, lai 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 lai, yai 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 lai lai lai, lai lai yai lai lai. All right, everyone, please feel free to unmute yourself so we can all say Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos.
Thank you all so much for being here, for making a minyan tonight. And
Rabbi, I
yes,
have a question for you when we're finished.
sure. I can't hear you.
Go ahead and finish whatever you want to do.
All right, good. So good Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, Louise. Great to see you. Judy, thank you so much for being here. Sarah, it's great to have you back. Carol, is always wonderful to have you. Thank you, Sylvia, for joining us. Andy, thank you. Ellen, it's great to see you. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, and the other Ellen also. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. So great.
Good Shabbos, Rabbi.
Shabbos. Good Shabbos, everybody.
Okay. Bye.
Question, Rabbi.
Yes.
In Israel, there's a poet who's known by her first name, Rachel,
Yes.
buried right by the Sea of Galilee at Kinneret.
Yeah.
And my group is going to read some of her poetry.
Lovely.
And I Googled her on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And they show her surname as Bluwstein. How would you pronounce that in Russian or whatever?
Yeah. Let me look it up.
Yiddish.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a Yiddish, originally a Yiddish thing, and let's see. Taylor is really Bluestein, probably Bluestein.
Okay, so it's not really. What is the Russian word or Yiddish word for blue?
The
Light.
The Russian.
Light.
What did you say, Sandy?
Light is the Yiddish word for blue.
Boy, did you ask for the Russian word, Ann, or the Yiddish word?
Either one. I'm not sure which one I'm looking for.
The Russian word for blue is goluboy, or sini is more like is like a sky blue, and goluboy is deeper blue. And golub in Russian is a dove. So why goluboy is blue? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, he was born in Saratov in Russia.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, I took a stone from a friend's interment in Oregon to Israel and put it on Rachel's grave. But I also was blown away to see what her surname is.
Yeah.
Because that's the surname of my boys.
Oh.
B-L-U-E.
Probably blue or blue. Maybe blue. I don't know. I mean, it's certainly not a Russian. It's certainly not a Russian name. It's definitely a Jewish name. So
It's a Yiddish name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Very good.
All right.
Somebody's trying. You're
tomorrow.
muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Ellen Sarot, you're still muted.
I would like the name of this poet to look her up.
Yeah, it's Rachel. Here, I'll share it on the screen.
Thank you.
Find her on Wikipedia, and I found several places. But
Here is my guest right on my lap.
hello, guest.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to write. Are you telling me it's Shabbat and I shouldn't write? Oops.
If you just Google under Rachel, you will find this person listed under Wikipedia. Rachel Bluestein Sala, and I'm not even sure whether she was ever married or not, but she also had some important relationship. And she was one of the early settlers. She died in 1931.
I'm trying to figure out how to share it. I'm not very good at this. But,
I got enough of it from what Ann just said.
good, great. All right, good. So
Rachel Bluestein.
my capacity is limited on this.
nobody knows what her surname. She's known only as Rachel. I just put Rachel Poet Israel.
Right.
You might ask,
Rachel
is Yivo still in business?
yes.
Yivo, that might be a place where you could get her name.
Although it's interesting, she can't really be an Israeli poet. Obviously she is, but it's she died in 1931 before there was a state of Israel.
Right.
So it's very interesting. But yeah, but she's
Well, if her name is Yiddish, that's what I was thinking, that they might have some information at Yivo.
yeah, the pronunciation help. You could definitely get it from Yivo.
There's all these odd things that happen. She died on April 16th, which is my oldest son Joshua's birthday.
Oh wow.
I mean, has the same last name as my family, and
So interesting.
she died in Tel Aviv because she had tuberculosis. Ousted her from the Brits.
Well, I'm gonna
Shadanya.
wonderful Shabbos. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for that.
Yes,
What
yes.
about tonight?